Hey, this is Sir Charles Carey. I want you to join me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for the Tru-Mu podcast, True Music. That's where we talk about all things.
I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, producer, engineer.
All things creative.
Me and my co-host, Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, will be glad to hear you, glad to talk to you, answer your questions, and talk all things music. The Tru-Mu podcast, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Be part of the energy.
I can see that thing that makes men stop, stand still, all in denial, suffer loss of will.
All right. As somebody would say, we're back one more time with another episode of the Tru-Mu podcast, where we talk about all things creative, all things innovative, business, or entertainment, because almost anything seems to be relevant today. What do you say, Carl T. Smith?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, man, today is going to be another good one because we have a special guest. This young lady, she's going to share her story with you, but we're going to take it step by step. And, you're going to learn a little more about passion and purpose and, how people do what they do and why it's so important to them. And you may find out that you're in a very similar position. So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others our guest for today, Demetria Goode. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey everyone.
How's it going?
How are you?
It's good. I can't complain. I woke up this morning and God gave me air, breath to breathe. So I'm awesome.
I know that's right. And I just, not to rain on your parade, I just got some bad news. So it's good to be grateful for every day that we do wake up. So I'm like you, I am grateful. What I would like to do is start slow, pace with you. I want to talk about the beginning, how you started out in life, how you got to where you are, and what's in your not too distant future. Is that fair enough?
It's fair enough. And I'm gonna just give you, if you hear my dog bark, may bark. If somebody, I just want to let you know.
Okay, we'll put a muzzle on him. That's all good. So, tell us about the young version of Demetria.
The young version of me?
Yeah, the little girl and maybe the teenager.
The little girl in me was the little girl in me grew up too fast.
Oh, okay.
The little girl in me grew up. The little girl in me didn't have guidance.
Understood.
The little girl in me didn't have structure. The little girl in me had to take on responsibilities faster than I should.
Now, before you go any further, I think you can tell me whether you agree or not. I think a lot of us may have had a similar type of humble beginnings, if you will, or troubled or challenging beginning. And I think that's really needed now, today, even maybe, I can't say more than when we grew up, but even more so than other times. Would you agree with that?
I agree. That's why I work with youth to try to catch them young, to give them guidance. To, if I had someone like me, what I give them, I know that I would have made different decisions and choices.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I've heard that same story starting out with a lot of people, and I would guess even myself to a degree. And I think some of these challenges are the things that make us or break us. So are you a native Washingtonian or DC native? You from the DMV or?
Born, partially raised in Falls Church, Virginia, partially PG County. But yeah, I am a VA girl. I am a Virginia.
Okay.
Girl. Yes.
Okay. So, like, as you grew up and you say you needed structure and things of that nature, when did it become apparent to you that, like what age when you really knew that either things were off track, you were off track, or something was off track? Like, at what point was that?
I grew up in a dysfunctional family. And
I got my membership card too.
yeah, and a lot of us grow up in families where we have to silence, be quiet to protect other people's negativity, demonic behaviors, you know. So I didn't grow up in a normal family. I didn't grow up in a family where I could look up to people and say, hey, that's guidance. Even having a kid, I had to figure it out myself. But you know what I realized with my mother is she tried to be the best mother that she could be with her circumstances and dealing with the things that she was going through. So I have to give her some grace, but I don't have to be apart. So I'm kind of separated because it's very important for me to protect my peace at all costs.
Wow.
It doesn't matter if you give me the category of family, of mom, sister, brother, cousin. Protecting my peace and energy and blocking negativity is what's most important in my life, because within the last 5-6 years through this healing journey, this is the first time me loving myself and the first time me being at peace. So once you get that feeling, you never want to lose that feeling, and that is driven by God. So yeah.
No, I hear you on that though. What were you what were and maybe what are some of your skill set interests or areas of interest as you know, I guess grew up? You know, what were you into? You know, was it theater, music, games? I mean, just hanging out. You know, what was it that you were into? Not as far as the dysfunction, but it can be that. But you know, what kind of things were you doing when you were growing up?
I was a tomboy, so
Okay.
I would jump off swings, jump out of trees, play football, play basketball, ran track. I was a tomboy. And
Okay.
you know, growing up, I loved going to the community center when I could, because I think that's where most of the kids found their peace at. That's where we come together in some form of unity and family. And that's why now you take a lot of things from your childhood and you incorporate from your into your adulthood, and that's even traumas, right? But that's why the build of the a nonprofit organization is like community driven and community based. So there are good things that I pulled out as a child, and there are not
Pun
so.
intended.
Yeah.
Carl, what you got? Are you frozen?
Yeah, he
He may.
froze.
Oh, there he is. We can't hear you, Carl.
Oh, oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Can't hear me now?
Yes, sir. This is
Can't
not
hear me
AT
now?
and
You
T.
can hear me?
This is not
Oh,
AT
Yeah,
okay,
we
and
can
okay.
T
hear
Yeah, no,
you.
I
connection,
had the
Carl.
thing down.
But Verizon is hear me was hear me now.
Well,
Now it's
are you
T-Mobile.
sure?
Oh, okay.
I thought it was, oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Out
was
of
it
all the
Sprint?
things that you were
Verizon one
doing
of
when you went to the center or playing football and stuff like that, what was your favorite?
I think my favorite was being a kid. Like when I got to be a kid, right? Playing video games,
Right.
snacks. Rest in peace, Miss Hall. I loved her. Just being around friends and just having fun. Just that moment of being a kid,
Yeah.
because all my life I didn't get that moment of being a kid. So
Mm.
that's what the community center bought, was that freedom of being a kid.
Look, I enjoyed those days too. I think the days of the after school sessions and the community centers. I know there's some here in PG County, but I think those days are sorely missed. And believe it or not, I was a kid like a lot of other kids. I'm sure Carl may have been as well, even though he's not that old. He's a little young dude, but we had
21, man, 21.
Look,
but
I think we all over the
Why y'all
45.
laughing? I don't understand it.
he's holding on to that
Why
21
y'all
and a half. But like, were you playing Atari, Dreamcast, Nintendo, PlayStation? What was
Man,
your?
yes, I was. I had an Atari, I had a Nintendo, I had all that, and I used to love the arcade. I used to love going playing the arcade. Pac-Man. Oh my God,
Okay,
Tetris was one of my favorites, and
classic.
Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong. Yeah, we used to go battle. We used to have a quarter sitting on top of the machine, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's something that we did as well. For us New Yorkers, we would go down to either 125th Street or 42nd Street in some cases, and for others maybe Fordham Road, and hit the video games and the arcade games, I guess you can call them. And man, talk about having a ball. Shoot. Yeah, wow. So when was I'm just trying to throw this all together. When was the good fight created?
do you want me? I'm gonna get you. Do you want me to tell people like what
Sure.
first happened to me?
We're very
Okay,
transparent, absolutely.
okay.
As long as you're comfortable, yes.
I'm an advocate for this. I fight to get people to look at their reflections in the mirror and just to realize that they have traumas. And we against a warfare right now. And what people don't realize, if a lot of people just stop and look at their selves, because childhood traumas affect adult decisions, if
Oh
they
yeah.
just change their selves instead of blaming others,
Hmm.
we
Say
would
that.
be living in a different world right now.
And
So
look, even when it's not your fault, not that you're going to be over the situation. And you tell me if you think I'm wrong or if I'm off base, even if it's not your fault, you have to find a way of working around it, through it, or over it so that you can have a sense of normalcy. And it may not be that easy. Am I right about that statement?
Um, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Even though I was a giving person, a loving person, I have to look at myself in the mirror, right? Because I tell people all the time, like I was the one that would lend money or help pay this or give up my rent money thinking you're gonna give it back on Friday, right? And then we mad at the next person, right? See, this is where we have it twisted at. This is where I had it twisted at, right? I have to look at myself, right? Or anyone doing this, they have to look at themselves and say, why do I continue to do this? And some people have a reputation, right? We can't blame the next person because they don't pay us back, right? Because we have to stop and say, first, I ain't have it. And second, I ain't have to give it. So for me, I started looking at myself like, how can I really be mad? Because if I would have just said no, then I would never be in this situation. And I
Right.
think a part of my traumas was people pleasing. And a lot of times we look at people pleasing like I'm a good person, but we people pleasing. So when am I going to stop and look at myself and say, why do I keep people pleasing and allowing people to continue to hurt me? I can
Mm.
change that. It took me up until my 40s to realize that I was people pleasing and I was hurting myself,
Mm.
but that came with aggression and anger from me. And it streamed a lot because we feel as though that people are taking advantage of us. But if we take back control and we don't allow people to take advantage of us, then we won't be in a situation. So a part of my healing journey was I had to look at myself and me people pleasing and learn from childhood that was a part of my childhood traumas. So now I'm able to say no. I don't allow people to take advantage of me. And people have to have the power in their words. And some people are afraid. Some people want to fit in. I was a fit in, a people pleaser. But then when I realized I didn't have to do none of those things, I didn't have to fit in. I didn't have to have the cookouts. I didn't have to invite people, because we attract negative energy in that in that scenario too. So once I started going through this healing journey, my circle changed. The people that I was around changed. And
There you go.
I could tell you this: God has blessed me with a beautiful circle. And a lot of us have been through some of the things where we gave, we did, but we had to look at ourselves. And we learned the power in the word no.
That's a full sentence. Somebody once told me no is a complete sentence.
You don't have to. You don't have to give no one the money. You don't have to get up and get in your car and burn your gas money with the same people that ain't putting gas in your car. You don't have to pay for nobody's Uber. You don't have to. That is not your responsibility nor your obligation to do so. So with the nonprofit, I'm able to do work and to actually give to those that need, not to give to those that take advantage, So that's the beauty in what God has redesigned in my life. I took a weakness and turned it into a strength.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carl.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
These young people, you can't do nothing with them, I tell you.
So as you learned how to develop your strength, what is one of the proudest moments of you using that strength?
The proudest moment of using that, the proudest moment of what that strength has done, it caused me to put myself first, because I always put myself last. And it has caused me to learn the value of loving myself instead of loving other people that don't truly love me, that only love the benefit of what I was doing. Right? So that's what that has done for me. Is there's no replacement in the love that I give to myself now at all.
Nice. Very nice.
So who do you serve with your organization? I heard you mention youth earlier. Is it just young people, or is it women also, or like how is it broken down?
We serve men, women, and youth. And we also have a podcast. It's called Unfiltered Unspoken Podcast, where we actually share life experiences of other people, all types of traumas, not just the domestic violence piece of it, or we share all traumas. So it's a resource base. So someone that is going through something can look at someone else and they can potentially start their journey to healing, because it doesn't always work with therapists. What I realized through my journey was I did go see a therapist, but it wasn't a benefit from me, because my therapist didn't understand me, because they never went through anything that I went through. So resources, helping others through life experiences, bringing guest speakers in that have been through stuff, getting out in the community, doing the work, speaking engagement. So we work with men, women, and youth through all life traumas. Specifically, that's domestic violence, because I am a domestic violence survivor, and I am a childhood trauma survivor and adulthood trauma survivor. And I've been on both sides. I've been in once a lot of people are abused, they become the abuser sometimes in a lot of situations, and people not ready to talk about that, right?
Well, I commend you for saying that, because one, most people don't speak to that. Not that everyone goes through it, but most people don't speak about things from that perspective. And most times, to my knowledge, I don't know about you, Carl, but we don't hear women speak from that perspective either. So I commend you greatly for being as transparent to say that openly. honestly, and I think it speaks volumes because we have to be the example so that other people can know it's okay to own your stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we have to, because the thing is, women actually get by with a lot of stuff because it's a woman, because it's a woman. No, there's no excuse for a man, woman, or a child to take their hurt and put it on somebody else. And
Woo,
even
man,
through
you
this
preach to the choir.
journey, one of the first things that I had to do was apologize to my kids, because yeah, a lot of things I wasn't aware of, but my kids had to suffer through what I wasn't aware of. And even me being in a domestic situation, my kids were traumatized from the relationship. My kids was traumatized from some of my unhealed version of me. So the first thing that I had to do was apologize to my kids and to acknowledge my faults. Like, I have 3 kids, my son and 2 daughters. Me and my son, we don't have the best relationship. And it's bigger than just my unhealed trauma. It's also about him being around unhealed people too, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have to live in those truths each and every day of my life. But living in those truths, I'm going to take accountability for those truths, which gives me a sense of peace to move on in life, because I know that I faced it. I know that I've taken accountability for it. And I have to just continue to move on to educate others that we have to take accountability in our situations. We have to apologize. And women do it a lot because some men don't want to hit women. So I talk to a lot of men where they're going through abuse, and the woman doesn't acknowledge it. And the man becomes weak, or they throw. A lot of men don't like to talk about a lot of men don't like to talk about their truths, is because when they come to a vulnerable state, if they get in a heated argument, it's thrown back in their face. They're belittled for expressing how they feel. So
Not to
I've
mention,
Mhm.
not to mention that the courts normally side with the women. So if a woman manipulates and provokes a man, he's in a lose-lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see a lot. I'm dealing with a situation right now with one of the parents that's going through that.
Wow.
And actually, I
Understood.
feel as though the child should be with the father. So it's a lot of kids should be with their
Mhm.
fathers. They shouldn't be with their mothers. And we get to a state where a lot of women feel as though they're these wonderful parents, and they're just not.
Yeah.
So the reality in life is, me working with kids, I see how much the parents are hurting kids. I see how much the parents blame the kids for their behaviors or their issues, and it's actually the parents' traumas that is causing the kids to suffer. But they not ready to hear that conversation. I've lost kids
Yeah.
because I've confronted parents. So,
Wow.
um, yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. How long has your organization uh, been in existence or been established?
2021, the nonprofit, it went from the regular to nonprofit, the nonprofit December 2022. And we we work with a lot of youth. Some of my youth have been with me since day one. I have some that's come in and they're with me. We have community engagement. We do cooking classes now. We donate clothes. People can come in and thrift on certain days to get clothing. Proceeds go to supporting our nonprofit. Um,
Yeah, please share some of the activities,
yeah,
donations, cooking.
yeah.
What else you guys do?
We do a lot of mentorship. One of my business partner does therapeutic boxing with the youth. We help them with their homework. Um, and to be honest, almost all of our kids, some of our kids came in failing and their grades are up. So
Okay.
we invest a lot into
Mhm.
the youth the investment was so much that I had to learn boundaries, or work-life boundaries, because that's how much time I was putting into the nonprofit, almost burning myself out. So I'm thankful, my daughter, whom she's on the board, and my
Oh,
business
good.
partner. He has a nonprofit organization. I just went back to work. I was out of work for 5 months, still trying to figure out how to keep the nonprofit going, still trying to just, make stuff work. And, they've stepped in on Tuesday and Thursdays to continue our community outreach with the youth. So we just have a lot of stuff going on. People can look at our website, thegoodfight.org. There's a E on the end of good. Come in, support community. We're doing so much in the
I know
community.
Carl does something similar as far as the mentorship piece with, or he supports self-defense for the youth. That you got something coming up, don't you, Carl? Are you a part of something coming up, or is it already passed?
Oh no, May 23rd, they got a community competition coming up. You still don't hear me?
Well, you weren't saying anything at first, but it's all good. We got you now.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So that helps.
So maybe we need to talk, Carl.
no,
Maybe you can come in and do a session with our youth.
Sure, no problem. I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
still nothing.
No, we
hear you. But it's like I don't know if it's delayed, but
oh, okay, all right. I'm starting to feel some kind of way. I just want y'all to know.
Don't feel no kind of way. We can hear you. Hear it.
But now you said mentorship. Is it life skills mentorship or academic mentorship?
Life skills, academic. We teach the kids respect, morals, hygiene.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Expressing their emotions, confidence building. Like, I'm not even gonna go. I had a guest speaker come in this Saturday. So we had a writing freedom class with a guy named Jamar. And he came in, and he's a publishing author, returning citizen, and he's doing some great things with the youth as well. So he came in and did a class with the youth. And as the class ended, I was working with the youth, like spitting some knowledge to him. And after we finished, he walked up to me, and by the way, he did an amazing class. My youth want him to come back, so I just want to say that. But he walked up to me, and he said, I am so impressed. I just can't believe what I just seen. And I told him, I said, a lot of the stuff we don't post on the internet, we don't post publicly, because this is what we do behind the scenes to support the youth, because we have a youth classroom area, and it's so the youth can come in and have freedom of space to vent, express their emotions, how they feel. We talk about, they open up to me. Almost majority of my kids call me mom, their second mother. So I allow them to express how they feel without anyone interrupting them, because a lot of times the youth can't express how they feel. But not to be funny, the parents a lot of them are in the wrong. They don't give their kids freedom. So when parents wonder why their kids won't talk to them, they have to go look at themselves in the mirror, because there's a lot of things that they need to deal with.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I think some of the parents are still stuck in that mode of what goes on in this house stays here, and you ain't trying to embarrass me. And I understand generally, but it's a new day, and you got to wake up and see what's happening around you. Those old-fashioned ways are stifling, and they're stunting the growth of not only our children, but even of the parents. And if the children see how the parents move, that's giving them an idea of how they should move. And that's not always an accurate depiction of how things should turn out, roll out, or just simply how things should be. I think I have a couple of
and I'm gonna say this real quick. I have some amazing parents. I have some parents through the good fight, and they can testify to this. Like, being honest, healing is about constructive criticism. And if you can't take constructive criticism, you're never going to make it in life. A lot of people feel as though constructive criticism is an attack on them, or someone's belittling them, and they're not open. That's a weakness within inside of other people. The only way that I was able to get to where I am, a lot of it came from constructive criticism and me listening to the constructive criticism. And that is a big piece on how I bettered my life. And that's one of the things that I love about my circle, is that we can always give each other constructive criticism. We may get upset, but we come back and we're like, you know what you said was true. And I need to look at myself additionally. Like, I have more change. Change is an everyday thing. It's not a one day thing. It's not a week thing. It's not a month thing. It's not a year thing. Change is every single day. We will continue to fix our flaws, and healing is every day. It's an everyday thing. And I that's one thing I can say is, folks, be open to constructive criticism. Stop taking it as an assault or an attack on you.
Right. So,
It's true.
Carl, you got something?
No, I was just talking about that with somebody just recently. Especially when you're dealing with music. The only way that I learned anything was people telling me what they felt about what I was doing, and you have to be strong enough to go through what they said to even have a chance. Because I always say the truth is my friend, and it gives me the ability to change. And if I don't want to change it, that's my choice, but I got to be able to take it.
Right.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
I tell people, like, and I didn't get, so I'm going to say this disclaimer. It might be a bit for many, but this is a part of my truths, and this is a part of my life, and this is a part of why I do the work that I do. So my ex-husband brutally beat and stabbed me 6 times with a steak knife. And one of my stab wounds was actually over my heart. And what I tell people, even through that, all I was worried about was my kids. I was in an ambulance, my kids. I need to call my kids. And, after the situation happened, one of the guys in the ambulance, because they took a while to get to me. And one of the volunteer ambulance folks, it was in Accokeek, Maryland. And he came back to my house and he broke down. He actually sat with me for like 2 hours. And a part of it was apologizing. And another part of it was, he was like, I never seen anyone get in an ambulance and all they could do was think about their kids. Like, you didn't even know if you were going to live or make it. You just wanted to talk to your kids. That was it. And after that, I was against suicide. I know that's the only thing that you can not be forgiven for. It's biblically. But God put me in a position where he made me feel like when people feel like they're in a position of suicide. And I'm going to tell you, I was depressed. I had been depressed for a long time, and I was fighting depression. And I couldn't take it no more. A lot of people that are suicidal, they're not going to really talk about it. They're not going to really talk about the depression. They're going to put a smile on their face around other people. A lot of people are not going to know what they're truly going through. And I was one of those people. No one knew what was going on. They didn't know I was going through the verbal, emotional, financial, sexual abuse, while other people made me look bad, and I was just silenced, and I allowed the attacks for a long time. And then mentally, I was digging myself in my own grave. I was just digging a hole of depression, stress, hope, faith. I didn't have any of that. I was dark and empty inside. And I put 30 Percocets to my mouth. And as I put the Percocets to my mouth, as they were going down my mouth, my at the time, my toddler, she ran in the room and she's just like, "Hey, mommy, I love you." She busted my door and was like, "Hey,
Wow.
mommy, I love you." And she kissed me on my forehead. And that is what made me drop the bottle. Like, God spared my life. Like, God saved me twice. And I tell people, when I almost lost my life, when my husband was beating and stabbing me, God will reveal his life. If your life is almost taken, whether you live or die, God gonna present himself and you gonna see him. And it's an unexplainable feeling. God looks like a ball of light. It's all different lights, and I can't even. It's a glare of lights and colors that I just cannot explain. And the devil looks like the Grim Reaper. God and devil was tug of war with my life, and my soul came out of my body. I'm gonna tell people, and I could feel a shield go over me. And I believed in God, but through this healing journey and everything that I went through in God sparing my life, I became a believer. And I know that he exists no matter what. Can't nobody tell me different. And, going through this healing journey, it caused me to go to this is what caused me to go to my childhood, to go to everything that I was going through mentally, emotionally. I didn't love myself. And I realized that I never loved myself. And I was living a cover-up life. My image, everything was fake, it was false. But God opened my eyes, something bigger and better. And that was the unity and love for myself. And I was a troubled child, in and out of the system, runaway, juvenile, sexually abused. I have been through it all, and it just mentally and emotionally affected me. And I try to go on with life like nothing ever happened to me. And when I accepted everything in my life, even as an adult, I was an adult trying to find that little girl in me.
Yeah.
To find a safety net for that little girl in me.
Yeah.
And I abused myself through the process from childhood and to adulthood. I was a part of that abuse to myself. And I had to change that. And that was the part of the healing journey. And I tell people, no matter what someone says about you, it's what you do to change your life for the future. They know that person that was unhealed. They know that person that was damaged. They know that person that they could manipulate. But that new version of you, they don't like that person. They don't like that they can't manipulate you. They don't like that they can't take advantage of you. They don't like that you stand up for yourself.
Right.
People always want to see people in a bad position, because when you're unhealed, you do unhealed things.
Yeah.
Right? So
Hurt people, and we're all children and grown up bodies.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I definitely I think your message, your story is right on time. I know this is not about me today, but I'm going through some things, family oriented things, so I can relate and I can identify with many aspects of your story. And again, I commend you on your transparency. And all you got to do is, as you already know, keep on fighting the good fight with the knee. So tell us about this event.
So this is our 5th annual nonprofit charity event. It helps raise proceeds to support our nonprofit organization, operations, youth, because every day we're fighting to continue our efforts and to keep the good fight alive. I want to thank you, Sir Charles. You will be in the house with the band. So Just thank y'all so much for being a part of this. JD, the DJ, he's been rocking with me, supporting the good fight since we started. Another believer in the good fight. It's going to be elegant. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't have anything against the DC culture, but there will be no go-go music.
Fine with me.
No rap, R&B. We're gonna take it back very classy, 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s, some Motown. I just want it very elegant and very classy to bring back a feel that we're missing. And it's a lot of drama in our communities with everyone fighting instead of uniting. And right now, I want a positive piece, a positive outcome. And my healing came from music, and just comforting and just positivity. So I want to make this event solely about positivity. And it's nothing against any music because I listen to all music. You'll hear me thumping to any music. It depends on what I want. But for this event, I'm bringing back a feel that we used to have before, So I just want to, it's about crowning courage. It's about healing. It's about unity. It's about networking. It's about laughing. It's about memories. And we're going to have LDW, one of my sponsors. They have a dance team. They're going to do a dance performance. We have a poet that's going to do a poetry piece there. And we have Sir Charles that's going to be there too. So, and DJ.
I get, thanks to Skrillington Bread Stacker, he's going to open up for us so we can hopefully shut it down for you guys.
Yes. And we're going to have to chat. I don't know if you want to open or close. I don't know how you want to do it, middle. So, yeah.
Okay. We'll probably close, but we'll talk about that if need be. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, this is great. Look, you're putting in the work. Obviously, the work is not over. There's still more work to be done. This is a existing work in progress, and again, I commend you on that as well because it's difficult when you are in a pruning or healing process, and yet you're still doing the work that benefits others. Everybody can't do that because sometimes we have to be selfish and get the healing for ourselves before we can help other people. But I've also heard, just as they say in an airplane, there's an accident or going to be a crash. When the mask comes down, put the mask over yourself first and then try to help someone else. So again, I think it's a worthwhile effort. And I think what a lot of people get twisted is they think that success is this big, glamorous, money-making thing. And it is, and it can be. But that's not the only way the success dresses itself. Success can be viewed in so many different ways, And I think what you're doing is a true sign of success because boots on the ground, you're doing the work. I don't see you on TV, but guess what? You're still doing the work and you're still reaching people and you're still helping people. And that is success. So definitely
limited. Let me tell you, I get so many messages like, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. And I'm like, well, share our posts, make a $5 donation, show up to our events. If you support us, like I tell people, a lot of the support. Now I have people I know that have supported that continue, but a lot of the support comes from people I don't even know. That I've met through the journey of the good fight. And I'm like, I think about COVID. I probably supported over 50 Black businesses during COVID.
Wow.
And I can tell you probably 3, 4 have supported back.
Wow.
And this is the God's honest truth. And I think like one of the biggest things I tell people, I go on people's pages and I see if they're supporting other people. I vet
Right.
who I do business with now, because when I did this, a lot of people stole. I didn't get products. I tried to go support all blacks, and I'm still going to support black businesses, but I'm just making just an example. And I supported, got half product, didn't get a product, money taken. And this is a cause. So all that money could have went to the benefit of the people that we serve.
Yeah.
So I'm big on customer service. So if it ain't right, you fix it. If you give a price, that's on you. I'd rather pay for full price, quality over quantity. And I think one of the biggest hurtful things when I went through this is a group of community that I trusted. I had did a video, and you know, it's for us to be silenced, that people don't want us to talk about this, but we should talk about this because you took a lot of money, not a little bit, but a lot. And I did a video, and kept asking for my video, kept asking, it was lost, I don't have it. I mean, the whole 9
Oh,
yards.
you paid for a production to be made?
I paid for a
Oh,
production
wow.
to be made, and 2 years later, and I ain't paid no chump change, and I had receipts too. And all this, that, and then I come up, they use my video on one of their rap songs. I
Oh,
can't even
wow.
use the video to this day. I think I cried for like 5 days straight. I ain't even gonna lie. I cried.
That's how
I
we
cried.
do each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we got to
Um,
turn some light on over there. It's getting dark over there, sis. You got a light? Turn on a
I know
light.
I'm about to. Hold on. Deanna. Look, I was in the I was sitting here through the sunlight, and I ain't even realized
Hey, that
that all
natural
that
light is
shit
the
got
beast, ain't it?
realized there. Yeah. Hold on. Hello. So, you know, that's just one example. And I had that's so much better. Look.
There you go.
And the thing was, with the good fight, I risked it all. My daughter, they supported me. I refinanced my house to put into the nonprofit.
Wow.
This was years ago when I first started, and specifically for a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, most of that was stolen, um, taken, not getting products. And I tell people too now, don't use people because people refer them to you. Use people because you vet them out. You understand with them.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
got to
have
bet.
to, yeah, you have to vet. You don't just because someone refers someone to you does not mean you have to use them. You know, just do your research, get a contract, make sure you write a contract, you know, make
Yeah.
sure you have everything in order. And if you have to sue someone, hey, get your
Do what you
money.
got to do.
Do what you got to work for hard for, because now moving forward, baby, let me tell you, if you cross me, we gonna end up in court.
You
You
done
take
seen it
something,
enough.
and I don't care who you are. I don't.
Right.
I
Carl,
don't.
what you got?
Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear.
Oh, all right. Listen, I don't know. Like I said, I feel some kind of way because y'all be treating me like a stepchild. But all right, that's fine. No,
We
no, no.
ain't do that.
Sounds like you have. It sounds like you have a wonderful program. What's next? What's about to come up next besides
Uh,
the event that you have?
we do free youth tutoring once a month. We do a cooking class once a month. So the next thing up is free youth tutoring. I think that's May 2nd. And then our cooking class, which is a $20 donation. And usually those fill because some of the parents go first, but I'm about to start making them more public. That's on May 16th. And then so we do that twice. And then Tuesday and Thursdays, we have youth engagement where my business partner, my daughter, help the kids with their homework, mentorship. Some kids just come in there just to get breath out. It's a free space. They love coming there. And we have a couple more events. We're working on workshops. They haven't been posted yet. But we do have hats and shirts and tumblers for sale, and cooking aprons, and those proceeds go to supporting our nonprofit. And if you're a thrifter, reach out to us. We have a nice area, and you could come in and thrift, and the proceeds go to supporting our nonprofit.
I think I have a couple of presenters for you. One is on history, our history, more importantly, and one is on mindset for youth. But we also have a mindset program for some of the older folks as well. So, I don't know how you said once a month, I think you just said, but I have a couple of presenters that will probably be able to serve the good fight well in your upcoming openings. Yeah.
Let's talk, because I do a lot of Black history. So we could talk about that too, to make sure someone I didn't cover. So I actually love to have guests come in, so because I do a lot of it, and it just gives me a freedom, like some breathing room to have a guest in, and good guests. And
for sure.
I think there's so many good role models in the community, and I want to be a part of bringing that to our youth, bringing good role models and something that's going to be beneficial to them. So let's definitely chat. I love to give them some good stuff, self-defense, Black history. I mean, all that good old stuff. I teach them cursive and everything. So
wow. Do people even use that anymore?
My kids are. I teach them the importance of learning how to sign their signature. And believe it or not, I had a lot of older kids that didn't know how to write cursive.
Wow.
So my youngest, who was 5, she's 6 now. She knows how to write her name in cursive. So
nice. Oh, that's a skill that was almost like managed, or you go in any classroom back in the day, and all across the top of the classroom, not only was the alphabet, the older classes, you had the examples of each letter. That is fantastic.
Yeah, well, with that being, don't know how to sign their signatures no more.
So with that being said, again, I want to thank you for sharing your time, and give out the website for those that may see this and are interested in coming to this event. The Groaning Courage? Yeah. So it's going to be your
Groaning Courage.
What is the website again?
www.thegoodfight.org. Thegoodfight.org. There's an E on the end of good.
So you're going to get dance, you're going to get poetry or spoken word, you're going to get live entertainment, you got a DJ, you're going to get some of the best food in the environment. It's going to be just right, folks. So support worthwhile and worthy organizations that are doing things that seem to be passe, but that are obviously still happening right in a community near you. This is going to be in Waldorf, Maryland. So I highly recommend that you tap in so that you can be a part of the in crowd, be part of the energy, as we always say over here at Tru-Mu, be part of the energy.
And Sir Charles gonna be in the house.
Oh yeah, Soul City Collective will be there live. Look, real instruments, not just a recording, not a tape, but keyboards and drums and bass and singers and all that kind of thing. We're gonna be doing our thing, and we want you in the house. So be part of it. With that being said, I think we're going to get ready to vamos. If Carl want to close out with any comments, we'd love to hear what you got to say, Brother Carl.
Carl frozen again.
Was such a pleasure meeting you. I wish you all the luck in the world. And please, let's keep in contact.
Yes, please.
And stop treating like a stepchild.
Yeah.
You're sexy, so good to me.